Targ, our friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And today was Dynamic Effort Bench Press Day. And just a quick reminder for those of you who enjoy these videos and watch them every day, please click like down below. Help keep the likes higher than the dislikes on these. We've been failing to do that lately, and only you can make that happen. But back over to the video. Alright, went back to the straight bar for speed work for this next wave. Using bands, trying to be as explosive as possible, and I'm getting faster at this. And what I've decided is that right now it's not necessary for me to have any unnecessary range of motion. I'm pretty strong off my chest on benching in general. My triceps really are a weak link. Top half tends to be my weak link. As long as I get really good at the speed work, stay explosive, I think everything will be fine. I'll do enough chest work from a deep stretch with things like dips over time to continue to develop my chest. But again, I really want to focus on top half of the movement and developing speed. So today we did 12 triples, and I'm going heavier on speed work, and notice I'm getting faster at it. It's not as fast as I'd like it, but we're pretty good. And we're running the standard West Side percentages for now on this. So this week it's 50% 1 rep max with 25% 1 rep max band tension. We are running 3 different grips, meaning 4 sets of wide grip, 4 sets of medium grip, 4 sets of closed grip, getting progressively narrower as I go. And again, a lot of people point out when it comes to my benching, and I guess I need to talk about that, they're like, why are you so slow? Why are you intentionally controlling the eccentrics on your first rep on a bench? No, that is literally the fastest I can lower the bar. And that might sound hilarious, especially when I max. I have spent years and years and years and years and years trying to learn to drop it slower while still controlling it. That's the fastest I can get it. And it's only the first rep. Second and third reps I can go faster. It's just first rep. And I've tried self-programming. I've tried all sorts of stuff. Nothing matters. Nothing I can do about it no matter what I've tried to do. I've tried every tactic possible. I cannot do it. And I feel like I'm dropping it as fast as I can. And that's the funny thing. I'll do a 3-second eccentric and people are like, can you drop it faster? And it's like, no, it felt fast to me. I thought it was a half second. You know, what do you do? But these got progressively faster as I went. And the other thing, yeah, I'm going to do some of these with the wide grip. I'm going to do some maxing with the wide grip. Going to avoid rep work with it. And again, try to train all my different grips. Right? We need wide, we need close, we need all of it. And generally this is how speed work is done, at least traditionally at West Side. They vary the grips. They run 3 different grips throughout the speed wave, like throughout the individual workout. They start wider and work their way in. So I did an even mix of the 3. So 4 sets of each. Next week we'll go up 5% on the weight, and I'll drop 2 sets out. And I think we're going to see, again, better speed. And like I said, it's not perfect. And I've got to remind people when they come in and say, but Matt Winning is faster than you. Yeah, he's been doing speed work for 25 years and he has an elite bench press. I should hope he's faster than me. But I promise you, most of you aren't. Some of you might be. So just put that in perspective when people go to criticize something like that. It's going to take me time to develop the speed that I want. But it's decently fast, especially considering the really high band tension. Okay? It's not like I'm only running 30-40 pounds of band here. That's a lot of band at the lockout. And we'll keep working at it because the only way we get faster is practice. And I think what people need to remember, at least one hypothesis as to why speed work works, the actual fact that we get insane velocities on it isn't actually everything there is to it. Speed work would actually still give you benefits, enormous benefits, even if that wasn't the case, even if you weren't moving it at really high speeds, as long as you were moving it as fast as you can. It's something to think about with compensatory acceleration, because there's an argument as to whether we get speed strength from it at all. Now, I think that we do, but I'm not 100% certain of that. It's a nice hypothesis. But the beauty of it is that it would still work even if we didn't get the speed strength from it. And I've covered that in videos before as to why that is. The hypertrophic component, the practicing of first reps, it all matters. But again, this felt good and it lit my chest up. And that's been the interesting thing with the speed work. made a note the speed work lately is really, really activating my chest. A lot of the stuff I'm doing, people are like, well, is this tricep work? No, well, in theory, but I don't feel it in my triceps. I don't feel any of these exercises in my triceps that I do other than the JM press. I feel them entirely in my pecs and front delts. Like even then I decided, okay, so because my chest was really, really lit up, it was all full range of motion. I got good pec hypertrophy. Let's work on the lockout in the chest for the rest, or in the pecs for the rest of this training session. So I did my board presses. And I did a 5x5 board press with a good pause. Just using 315 because this is challenging. And I want to get up to where I can do my max off the board press for, multiple sets of reps. Just to, again, get more work through that to help me learn to follow through with that heavier weight. Maybe eventually get higher than my max. I mean, the board presses are coming up pretty quick now that I'm doing them. I would love to get heavier than my max and do a 5x5 off the boards. I think that would be indicative of some good lockout improvement. But again, this is supposed to be a tricep exercise. My chest was lit up from it. Tons of chest activation. Barely felt any tricep, ironically. And we know when I wide grip bench, when I've tested it, that if I miss it, it's up near the lockout. Right? Miss it right off the chest. I miss it the last 4 inches. And that's where I grind. So, we'll keep working all the triceps. Obviously, we're getting chest work because I'm doing dips. I'm doing full range of motion benching for max and dynamic work. And again, focusing on that speed component, which I absolutely need. But again, this is making sure I'm going to build my lockout, build my triceps. And triceps have been a weak link. And so I've really decided, look, I'm going to go with what a lot of guys say. There's a lot of top power lifters who say, look, a lot of extensions may not be best for your triceps. Use these bigger movements. I've even seen Wendler say that he found that extensions didn't really make his triceps grow that much in the grand scheme of things, and all they did was beat his elbows up. And even he's kind of said, look, do board presses, close grip presses, JM presses. Because these don't really seem to beat up the elbows, and JM presses for higher reps don't seem to if you're careful either. And if they do, even guys like Darden say, look, hook them on reverse bands, it goes away. And then you have accommodating resistance with a heavier towards a lockout. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be board presses. Tons of board pressing, tons of JM presses. I'm going to build these triceps up because they're still a weak link for me. I'm still going to do dips. And I might cut dips out and replace them with close grip pressing too for a while in phases. But I'm going to at least keep dips in on the max days for sure, like I did this week. Especially after board pressing and everything was fried, to come in and just do those dips with that stretch reflex. My chest hurt for 2 days. So I had really serious pec DOMs for the last 2 days. It finally went away today. It was gone finally this morning, fortunately. But all of this, I mean, my chest was fried. I didn't really feel my triceps to a great extent till I got to the JM presses. And I need to go up on weight on those. I'm going to start micro-loading them because I did 12 to 13 reps with them today. Felt a lot of tricep finally on them, mostly medial head, some lateral head, but we need to work on both of those. That's what's going to bring up my bench. And if you look down near the elbow, my tricep really sucks down there, right? So we have to just keep working it as hard as possible. Even though I've just started my cut and I'm losing body fat, we're still going to focus on making gains, right? We're still going to make gains. The gains don't quit just because of that. And on a side note, look at all this equipment. I've seen some people come in and comment that a lot of people actually try to clown me for having a home gym and all that. And they're like, oh, that's silly, and the lifestyle he lives with this. And it's like, now everyone who doesn't have a gym who was saying that, I don't think they're saying that right now. And I'm not saying that to be a dick or anything, but a lot of those people who've really tried to clown me for having a gym on this property in this living room with all this stuff, it's like, but I got a gym right now. I've got a gym that equals a top-level powerlifting gym, when half the people out there don't have a gym to train at all. Okay? Not really that funny at this point. Again, a lot of people are now wishing they had this, and I wish that all you guys had this too. I mean, honestly, I wish that all my followers had an awesome home gym. It would make things easier. And a whole lot of you right now would sure be a lot better for it, but it's not feasible for everybody, and I get that, and that's unfortunate. but it's reality. It's one reason I'm trying to make some videos helping people out who don't have access to a gym right now, which I'll continue to do, and until this crisis abates. But I'm glad to have all this stuff right now. My gains can continue. Gains can continue even when cutting, which is going decent at this point. It's going to be slow, but it's going. And the scale weight's going to drop a little slower because I've upped my carbs and replaced a lot of my fat calories with carbs, even though my total calories are down like over 1,000. I was eating so much fat calories that I've replaced a lot of it with carbs, even though I've lowered the overall. So the carbs will keep me a little bit fuller. It'll keep the scale weight from dipping too quick, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want to drop water weight, right? I don't want to drop intermuscular water. We want to drop fat. We need to maintain performance. And I think that's something a lot of people get confused when they're trying to cut some body fat. They get so tied up in scale weight and even dropping water and not realizing we're cutting to drop body fat, not body weight. And if we can maintain water weight, we're going to have better performance, better recovery, better training, right? That's the name of the game. We're trying to still build muscle, not hopefully keep most of our muscle. That's bullshit. You guys saw me do that other DEXA where I dropped 15 pounds of fat and kept all my lean tissue, which technically means I gained muscle. All right, that's what we should be doing. I'm not talking about you guys getting ripped. If you're getting ripped, you're kind of stupid anyways. You know you're going to lose muscle. You accept that. That's a different animal. But back over to this. 5 sets of JM presses. Again, definitely felt the medial head of my tricep a lot here. Sometimes I feel the lateral more on them. As long as they're both getting work, that's all that matters. And I know that they're getting work the way I'm doing them. I'll keep getting stronger at this, keep loading weight on it, keep hammering those boards, and obviously dips at least once a week just to get my 4 or 5 sets of dips in, while we continue to do the max effort and the speed work. And then we did our upper back, and my upper back was kind of fatigued today. I only did 4 sets to these a failure, but I'm doing much higher reps now because I'm not just doing 12. I'm doing like 15 to 18. We'll just count it as 15. I did 4 sets today, and it's like my upper back was fatigued, but I'm doing face pulls on my off days. I did 6 sets of Pendlay rows on my squat and deadlift day 2 days ago. So realistically, we're still getting like 20 sets of rows every week. Even if I only do 4 some of these days, I'm doing 6 on others, 5 on others. We're still averaging 20 a week. That's plenty. 20 sets of rows between 2 types, plus face pulls. Plenty of upper back. And that's what we do at the end. We want to make sure the upper back gets finished off, triceps and upper back. And then obviously I do my hammer curls at the end, which I think is helping. I feel like the hammer curls are helping my rowing in general, because my arms are possibly a weak link and all that. And if I can bring up all the arm muscles involved, not just the bicep, with my rowing, not only will it help my bench, because again, the thicker arm, and we know I need thicker arms. All the muscles in my arm could stand to get thicker, not just the biceps, not just the triceps, the whole arm. Right? I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. I don't care whether you're into strength or the whole bodybuilding gig, which I'm not. I think both groups would still say, yeah, he needs more arm, right? We can universally agree. No denial on my part. So the hammer curls will help with that, but all this rowing will too. But I feel like for me, one of the reasons I'm doing the hammer curls is because sometimes the arms have a little bit more recovery left, maximum recoverable volume, than your upper back and mid back. And I just want to make sure that I'm not missing performance on the rowing. And if my arms are a weak link, and I think that they have been to some extent, I'm not going to be able to do as much rowing. And if we can't do as much rowing, we can't grow maximally and everything suffers. So we need to get all of that strong. And there you guys are. You can see everything still of me at the start of the cut. That's what I look like. No shame in my game. Right? No shame in my game at all. Got some fat, got some loose skin. But it's all good. I still always laugh at the dudes who want to come in and try to make fun of that. It's like I'm secure enough to stand here, not looking my best, and still be sexy as hell while you're talking behind a computer screen. Right? You don't see anybody else when they're at their worst or before a cut or anything else up here training shirtless. You know why? Because they're insecure. So suck it. You probably would too. most of the guys saying that. I probably shouldn't even say that. They probably will, given the opportunity. But we finish off with these hammer curls. Curls for the curls. Rows for the hose. Because I need them. And I did 4 sets to failure, and that was plenty. I felt like that was all I could do. Everything was kind of cramping up. And again, I'm doing hammer curls on all my days because I'm doing some sort of rowing all 4 training days. So might as well throw them in. 3 or 4 sets, 5 sets some days, whatever, doesn't matter. We're still in that like 12 to whatever, 12 to 20 set range depending on how many I do. That's plenty. That's plenty. If we can't grow maximally off that, just give up. And again, taking them to failure. And I'll probably use the hammer bar later, the football bar if I need to, because it's the only dumbbells I have. And they're going to get too light. But it was a good workout. I'm happy with it. Good stimulus, good training. So I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys next time.